Today we're going to start The Night Hunter. So it's by University Games' Murder Mystery Party series. We've played a couple of their other games before. This one really intrigued me because it just gives like classic slasher movie vibes. And while the other ones were kind of standalone cases, this one has multiple parts to it. So in this video, we're going to tackle the first case. Over 100 pieces of evidence, 4 known victims, 1 new target. Can you find the culprit before it's too late? Let's go ahead and read this synopsis. It was more than 20 years ago when the Night Hunter terrified America with a series of disturbing murders. He taunted police and wrote strange and bewildering letters to the media. Everyone thought the reign of terror ended when Bill Mendax confessed to the crimes. But now a new murder has taken place. Is it a copycat? Has the real killer been loose all of this time? Does Mendax have a partner? The Bureau needs your help to find the truth before the Night Hunter kills again. Join the Bureau in search of clues about the Night Hunter's past to solve the murders in the present. It will take lots of evidence and listening to witnesses to catch the murderer. And then it has a QR code here. So the contents, there are 4 cases, over 100 pieces. We already read that. A website, test for forensic evidence, and letters from the Night Hunter. All right, let's go ahead and open this thing up. First, we'll see a field guide for agents. This little booklet. Bite mark analysis guide. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here for different animals. I'm pretty sure we'll have to dig into this later. Poison venom detection, chemical identification guide, hazard class pictograms, fingerprint collection method. I'm gonna have to read some prints. And I did see this. It's a blue light or UV light. So they give some instructions. I'm guessing there's gonna be some like hidden fingerprints on stuff. Pretty cool. Anything else? Nope. Okay, put those aside. And it says, read this first. We will read this later. For now, it's just gonna show you the box and this pretty cool picture here. And there's a QR code here and a little thing here to help you take it out. Visitor, we're in a jail facility. All right, let's go under this and we have a folder or folders. Chapter 1, Case 1, Caroline Parker. We won't dig into the documents just yet. Let's just a little peek here. Have some letters, an article, and some scans here. We'll definitely go through all these. And under that, Chapter 1, Envelope 1. It says, stop, do not open until you solve Objective 1.1, which I believe was in here. Yeah, Objective 1.1. Determine exactly what was used to kill Caroline Parker. And then we can check our answers at the website. Okay, I'm guessing Chapter 1, Envelope 2. Yeah, we need to solve Objective 1.2 first. And then under that, Chapter 2. All right, let's put this all back in and leave this out. All right, so now we have all the documents scanned up and organized here. I have the physical documents next to me because I know we're gonna have to use this to find some fingerprints or something. So let's just go ahead and read that letter that said, read this first. The Bureau, a department of the United States, Washington, D.C. Dear agents, in this evidence box, you will find the case of the Night Hunter. Captain Snow is the lead on this case and is up to you to help review new evidence. Enclosed is your field guide to aid you in your investigation. You will refer to this field guide throughout your work. So that's referring to this little book here. It contains animal bite mark information, chemical codes for field toxin tests, fingerprint collection methods, and other key information for your field work. Also included is your government-issued US F907 light device that you will find critical in the following. revealing latent fingerprints that may be present on evidence handled directly by case suspects, developing and displaying results of field toxin tests, aiding in looking for other forensic information on photos and other documents. Oh, so it's not just going to be fingerprints. That's interesting. Please make sure to keep your field guide and US F907 light device available at all times as you investigate the Night Hunter. Important! Leave each chapter in the box until you have completed all the objectives of the previous chapter. In order to validate your findings at each step of the investigation and to provide additional information to help you, we have provided you access to the Bureau's confidential portal at www.nighthunter.com. I mean, it's a public site. Anybody can go there. This portal will also give you access to witness statements and case tips. Okay, so I think I might have to listen to something, so I'll have to grab my headphones. You can easily access the portal anytime during the game with the following QR code. Just point your smartphone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, good luck, the Bureau. All right, so next was that field guide for agents. I'm not going to go too much in detail right now because I think when we're going to have to look something up, then I'll for sure have to go back here. But just really quick, we have herbivore tooth profile, carnivore. So I don't even know what the premise is and why animals would be involved. I guess we'll definitely find out soon enough. We have the bite marks of squirrel, fox, snake, Gila monster. Okay. Bear, badger, wolverine, porcupine, wolf, raccoon, deer, bat, and then moose, coyote, muskrat, mouse, tiger, chimpanzee, leopard, gorilla. Okay, and then there's some letters here and the word exotic. Maybe it has to refer to like where they're located in the northwest, southwest. Oh yeah, the geographical area. All right, and then there was some other information about poison, chemicals. Yeah. Oh, and how to read fingerprints. So this, oh my gosh. Okay, this this looks so complicated. Hopefully it won't be that complicated when we get there. All right, let's move on. So next we're just gonna go through all the contents that were in this folder for chapter 1, case 1. I'm just gonna go in the order that it was in the folder, starting with this letter. From the desk of Captain Snow. Agents, I'm Captain Snow, Director of the Bureau. Our agency is tasked with the investigation of criminal cases earmarked as exceeding the resources of state and federal law enforcement. You've been granted special authorization to assist the Bureau on a crucial assignment. I'm providing you with a field guide. Keep this on your person at all times to aid you in your mission. 25 years ago, 3 similar murders occurred across the United States. At the time, the San Diego Police Department apprehended a serial killer self-titled the Night Hunter. Oh, so this is in San Diego? It looked like a forest. Are there forests in San Diego? Each murder was committed according to the killer's unique modus operandi and followed by letters to local police departments and news outlets, taunting law enforcement for failing to catch him. Attached, you will find short briefs to catch you up on these cases. A year after the murders took place, Bill Mendax voluntarily surrendered himself to law enforcement officers in June of 1996. He provided several accurate and disturbing details regarding the murders that were never disclosed to the public. This evidence, along with his confession, proved to be more than enough to charge and convict Mendax with 3 counts of murder in the first degree. Mendax is currently serving 3 consecutive life sentences at Lompoc Federal Penitentiary. An unsettling case in Little Rock, Arkansas was recently brought to the Bureau's attention. Oh, okay, so the current one is in Arkansas? The crime scene is consistent with the aforementioned murders from 25 years ago. If this is a copycat killer, they have intimate knowledge of the Night Hunter's methods and were not released to the public, namely an injection site on the neck of each victim. Is that so unique? I don't know. There's got to be more to it. We need to determine if Mendax has been in communication with anyone from the outside world while incarcerated, or if the wrong man is behind bars. Ooh, I didn't think about that. I have enclosed the file on the recent murder in Little Rock for your review. We need to know if there is a link between the previous murders and this new one. Scrutinize the details of these reports and determine if a possible connection to the Night Hunter killings exists. Okay, so that is our objective. determine exactly what was used to kill Caroline Parker, which is named on this folder right here. And then we'll check our answers on the site. All right, next, the Night Hunter case briefs. The following briefs are summaries based on police reports of the murders attributed to the Night Hunter. Bill Mendax confessed to the murders, and all 3 of these cases were closed. All right, first we have Sarah Bennett, October 14th, 94, in Arizona. Sarah Bennett was found dead on the side of Interstate 40 just outside of Winslow, Arizona. The body was found in a strange position, with only slight bruising and no obvious cause of death. The killer left no fingerprints or traces of DNA. A sign was found in the brush near the body that read, "Secretive and duplicitous," and was taken to be a possible motive by the Winslow PD. Interviews were carried out with Sarah Bennett's living relatives and friends who knew her closely. None used those words to describe her. She was known to be a bright, cheerful person who would never harm a soul. 2 years later, Mendax, the Night Hunter, confessed to her murder and was sentenced to life imprisonment. All right, so we have some sort of calling card, I guess. Next, we have Braxton Cohen on April 10th the following year in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Braxton Cohen was reported missing April 10, 1995. His body was found the next morning, where it was confirmed that he had been killed the night before. The body was draped over the edge of an industrial trash bin, face down behind a grocery store. The body was discovered by garbage collectors and, although they were questioned, the 2 were never considered suspects. Taped to the outside of the bin was a cardboard sign with the words "obnoxious and violent" on it. The sign was considered a calling card of the Night Hunter. Yep. This piece of evidence was used to connect his victims and was eventually used in the trial that put Mendax in prison. All right, so third, we have Elena Hubbard on September 29th, 95 in Oklahoma. So a few months after, Elena Hubbard's body was discovered by a hiker deep in the woods outside of Oklahoma City. The hiker was off the main path following a game trail in order to photograph local wildlife. Instead, he stumbled upon Elena's body. The body was partially dismembered, likely a result of animal scavengers, which made its original position difficult to determine. Okay, I guess that's where the animals come in. A sign reading "Savage and Gluttonous" was found nailed to a nearby tree. Evidence suggests that Elena was poisoned and her body discarded in the woods. But they didn't mention poison. Oh no, there was a injection, right? I should be taking notes. After Mendax confessed Elena's murder in 96, the case was considered closed. All right, let's take some notes really quick. Oh, it's the current case in Arkansas that mentioned an injection site on the neck. So current injection on neck. And then maybe I'll just write OKC poison. I don't think there was much details in the other 2, right? As far as how the victim was killed. Yeah, this one says slight bruising, no obvious cause of death. And this one just describes how it was placed in the trash bin. All right, let's just keep going. Next, we have an article, front and back. We'll go ahead and read through this. The Strange Case of the Night Hunter by Beatrice Olvedo. The man responsible for 3 horrifying murders that occurred in a 2-year time frame shocked the world when he turned himself in for his crimes. With the recent capture of Heriberto Seta, the New York Zodiac Killer, families have been able to sleep easier knowing that 2 notorious serial killers have been put behind bars. The Night Hunter received the alias after referring to himself as such in his self-written poems and letters that he submitted to the local police stations of the areas where his victims were found. It came to much surprise when the Night Hunter voluntarily surrendered himself at the San Diego police station. The announcement was made over the weekend that the murderer had been identified as Bill Mendax from Barstow, California. With no clear reason for why Mendax came forward, we are left wondering why. The public has begun to draw their own conclusions. Perhaps guilt drove him to confession, or the need for self-recognition. Some believe that the police were closing in. At this point, we can only speculate. To understand the mind of the Night Hunter, we go back to the 1994 murder of Sarah Bennett in Winslow, Arizona. Bennett was the first known victim of the Night Hunter. At the time, investigators had no suspects, witnesses, or murder weapon. The only clue was a strange sign found near the body with a cryptic message that investigators have yet to understand the meaning. Without any real leads, it seemed as though her murder would go unsolved. The Night Hunter made his mark again with the murder of Braxton Cohen in Albuquerque, New Mexico in '95, and Elena Hubbard in OKC the same year. Signs were left at both crime scenes. Investigators were able to obtain video footage of both Cohen and Hubbard's last moments seen alive. The surveillance footage of Cohen was captured at the time of his murder, but the tape was damaged and the frames that could be recovered gave investigators no lead. On June 4, 1996, Mendax arrived at the Central Division Precinct building in San Diego, California to confess to the murders. The officers were skeptical as this was not the first time someone tried to take credit for the workings of a serial killer. When interviewed, Mendax was able to provide accurate details, including places of the victims' work, locations where they were killed, and details about the murders that were not disclosed to the public. Mendax was arrested and later sentenced. However, there are still conspiracies floating around that he was not the killer and the real night hunter is still lurking in the shadows. Mendax has a previous criminal record for assault and violating parole. He's now serving 3 consecutive life sentences at Lompoc Federal Penitentiary in Lompoc, California. All right, then we have some ads here. Amberlee's Taxidermy, Quality Service Craftsmanship, Clean Preservation and Mounting. Maybe covering up murder too. I don't know. Affordable dentures and implants, free consultation. I don't know. This both seem kind of weird, right? Only because it's placed with this article. And it talks about wire-jawed thief, right? All right, let's read this really quick. First is a picture of a bite mark and an apple found in the home of Allison Brin. It started with a home invasion and took an unusual turn. After breaking into the home of Allison Brin while she was out Christmas shopping, the suspect loaded his car with a few choice valuables and then sat down in the kitchen to make a meal. Detective Audra Phelps had this to say: "It really was strange to think that someone would be so comfortable at a crime scene that after robbing the place, they would sit down in the kitchen and make dinner. In the end, I guess we're lucky that they were hungry that night." One of the officers noticed that there was an underripe apple on the table, and it looked like the intruder had tried to bite into it and left the apple on the counter. Rookie mistake. The officer on the scene pulled a bite mark impression and sent it to the lab. There were no matches. However, the lab technician processing the sample noticed something odd about the bite. There were small lines between the teeth consistent with wire. Oh, like braces? And it appeared to be some odd form of self-dentistry. To find out more, we turn to dental expert Greg McDavidson. It isn't common practice now, but some dentists in the Old West used to take short pieces of wire and thread them between teeth right at the gum line and twist the wire to apply pressure to keep a tooth from falling out. We don't do anything like this anymore, of course, but maybe this guy did his own at-home dental work. I bet this eventually gets infected and he has to go to a real dentist. With this information in hand, the police put out an all-points bulletin for local dentists to be on the lookout for a patient coming in with damaged and infected gums or signs of at-home dental work. All right, this is in 1996. I don't know how this is relevant. Maybe just about teeth marks in general, because I'm going to have to look out for something like this. All right, so next we have the series of letters that the Night Hunter sent to the media. I'm not sure if there's a particular order, but some things I notice off the bat is these strange marks on the bottom right, and that some of them are unique. I think these two are the same because they're part of the same, or they're together, and then these ones are all different. So let's start with these two right here. So this is for Braxton Cohen. Letter written by the Night Hunter sent to Albuquerque Police Station, collected and filed as evidence. And this is 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. A pond at night, a reflection of thoughts, a peaceful pool of wonder, my silent requiem, alone in the darkness, nothing but night terrors, like yellow eyes in the night. They watch me, but I am not in danger. I am not afraid. I am a night hunter too. Yours. Is this gonna be some sort of code? Nothing sticks out to me immediately. I'm just gonna keep reading the rest. The clock is ticking, but can you find me? The dawn is almost upon you, and yet I remain elusive. I remain free. I rummage through your city like I was the garbage, waiting to be thrown out by those who looked down on me. But in the end, it was I who looked down on them. And it was they who ended up in the garbage. Yours. It's supposed to sound deep, but it does not. Okay, again, nothing is really sticking out to me. So to remember, my objective is to determine exactly what was used to kill Caroline Parker. And Caroline Parker is the current case, right? And where there was an injection on the neck. Which reminds me, we can go to this website really quick just to check it out. The Night Hunter game. Welcome to the Bureau's confidential portal. Here you'll be able to validate your findings. Oh, so this is just to check for answers? Do not visit the next chapter before completing all objectives. Okay, let me just see what happens. Oh, so there's gonna be interviews here. Okay, I don't know what to look below that yet. So that's where I'll end, and we'll see if I have to go to these just yet. All right, let's just finish up the documents first. All right, the next letter is for Elena Hubbard, sent to Oklahoma City Police Station. The moon shines brightly sometimes outside my window. I look up at it with a longing that few would understand. None of these rhyme. I long to be free, yet why am I in the prison of four walls? Would you put me there if you could? Would you put me in that prison place? Rob me of the feeling of dirt on my feet, or the shining moon that sometimes shines outside my window. You may be afraid of the things that night exposes. I do not fear them because I am a night hunter too. I wonder if these symbols are gonna mean anything. I don't know. All right, let's just keep going. The next one is for Sarah Bennett and sent to Winslow Police Station. The game I fear has almost ended. It has circled back upon itself, like I circle back upon myself. Back to the beginning from the end, and from the end to a new beginning, wrapped around myself, but not to hide. I wind myself up for the strike, and when and where that strike comes will be up to me and me alone, for I am the Night Hunter. This is so weird. All right, finally, the last one is for Caroline Parker. It was found at the scene, and it was recovered from the victim's left jacket pocket. So that's already a difference because the other ones were sent to the police station. So let's see. I find no rest, no sanctuary here, no territory to call my own, no land on which it's safe to roam, not safe in bed or secluded care, not safe at night, although I reign. You think your games still trick me, you think my cunning has run dry. I leap and bound and dance and pounce. You'll never catch me, you'll never try. Yours. Okay, and then that looks like a wolf or some animal. Okay, first glance, I mean, the handwriting looks the same, right? Let me see if some other words here. Is there a D? Yeah, it looks the same. I know in these games that they use fonts for handwriting, so if you find one letter, it should look the same across the board. All right, I don't know. Nothing's really sticking out. I'm just going to keep going. It's a bit of a disclaimer. There's going to be photos. I don't know how graphic they will be later. The ones for this aren't that graphic, but just a fair warning. We get to that. But first, there's this Night Hunter handwriting sample. And I'll show you the physical one because it's a clear sheet. So I also made this one transparent because I'm guessing, we might have to like match it with something. So we'll get to that later. But here is the first image. And she's hanging on a tree. And we see the letter Caroline Parker, ferocious. And I forget what the second word was, but I think it's on the next one. Yep. Ferocious and disrespectful. Maybe this writing I can match too. You want to do that really quick? Let's do it. All right, let's see if this C matches. And I don't think it does match, right? I don't know if this is really part of my objective right now, but it looks completely different. And this F, oh, it matches. Sorry. This capital F matches. And then the D, where's my D? Down here. That kind of matches too, huh? Why doesn't the C match? A, yeah, it does match. How about capital P? Oh, okay, so the P does match. Interesting. All right, let's just keep going. Is this the sample of the the Night Hunter in the past, not the current case. I guess so, right? Because this must be based off of these letters. All right, well, next we have a blood tissue sample and a toxicology report. So I'm not sure how to read this yet. Maybe I need to refer back to my field guide here. I'm just going to look at the physical one first. Oh, okay, so I might have to use the light on this blood tissue sample. So I'm not sure how I'm going to show this, but if I see something, then I'll try to show you guys something. Okay, all right, so this is kind of funny. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but oh yeah, you can. Okay. So you can see the numbers here, right? I'm using it on the physical one. Let me try to get a picture of this. It's hard to get all of them in one lighting because this light is so weak, or it's too bright in here. I don't know. Let's see. Maybe I can. Let me see. All right, I'm just gonna have to write the numbers down. Okay. Now I'm just gonna refer to this guide here. So 24, we have. Oh my gosh, I'm. This is gonna be horrible trying to read these. Menthanol trichloride, and then we have gabapentin, glycerin. 15 is alcohol, just plain old alcohol. 29 is carisoprodol. 47. Oh my gosh, I'm just not even gonna read this one. I know hydrochloride. I can read that. Hydrochloride. Lead. Interesting. And benzodiazepine. Diazepine. I'm gonna have to do some outside research here. Did I misspell this? Oh yeah, it's methanol. It still says it's wrong. Okay, whatever. All right, so now we know what was in her system. What does this mean? Let's read this poison one. The difference between a poisonous substance and a venomous substance may seem trivial at first, but knowing the difference could save your life or someone else's. Simply put, poison is a harmful substance that is produced as a natural form of defense and is swallowed by the victim. Venom is a harmful substance that is produced as a natural form of offense and is usually injected into the victim via fangs, teeth, or a stinger. So, rule of thumb, poison is when you bite it. Venom is when it bites you. Okay? Poison. There are many types of natural poisons and many more synthetic ones. It should be noted that a poisonous substance can be forcibly injected into a victim, breaking our rule of thumb. Therefore, your best bet is to take both blood and saliva samples whenever possible. Do we have saliva? Almost all venoms are naturally occurring. Of the different types of venoms, there are 3 that we find in the field. Myotoxins, which damage muscles, neurotoxins, which do damage to the nervous system, and hemotoxins, which inhibit blood clotting. Oh yeah, because the picture of the blood, there it is like uneven, right? There's like a darker portion and a lighter portion. So am I supposed to note? I'll show you guys in a bit. All 3 of these can be found using your poison field detection kit. Reading results. Results can be displayed using your USF 907 ultraviolet light pendant. Use the chemical identification guide in this booklet to interpret your results, which we did. But, okay, so let's go back to the picture of the blood sample. Okay, so in this area, maybe I should have just written the numbers here. That would help you guys. Let me try that actually. Okay, so these numbers are all on the outside, and then on the inside, we have the rest. There's also a barcode here. I'm not sure if we can scan it somehow. Usually you can only scan QR codes. Okay, so these are the placement of the numbers. I'm not sure if this darker part means clotting, right? Clotting would indicate hemotoxins. Okay, so 25, we have carisoprodol, or 29, sorry. 15 is alcohol. 50 is lead. And 30 is benzodiazepine. They don't give us much description on these things. All right, maybe I'll just finish the documents and then we'll probably come back to this. So there's 3 left. It looks like a screenshot of a desk or something, stuff on top of a desk, crime scene report, and an autopsy. All right. First thing I noticed is this sticky note. There's a site and a username and password, but it's the date of birth, so we're gonna have to get that somewhere. And we will go to this website after we finish these documents. Good luck on your speech tonight. Break a fibula. I can't wait to see you up there. Steven. Who's Steven? All right. Edwards Natural Science Center. Disciplinary action slip. Name Caroline Parker. Date on 2021. Do we know the date of the incident? I have not seen a date, so I don't know if we have an exact date. Anyways, severity, second warning. This is the second time I have caught Caroline working without gloves while preparing specimens. Heavy metal poisoning is not something to be taken lightly, and I need her to take the required protective protocols like latex vinyl gloves more seriously. Is that why there's lead in her blood? This will be Caroline's final warning. If this behavior is repeated, Caroline's access to laboratory work will continue only under direct supervision by her manager, Peter Wilkson. All right, and we have a wristband that says Caroline Parker, condition angina, treatment nitroglycerin. Okay, so that can explain if she had that in her blood. And this says Lux Inter something, William Davenport, Senior Sales Associate. And then we have some keys here. I'll go back to this website after we finish the other 2 documents. I'm just going to check this really quick. And we did. We have nitroglycerin in this portion of the blood. So I think these are the 4 that we're concerned about, right? We have alcohol, lead, which could be because she wasn't handling the samples properly, carisoprodol, and benzodiazepines. I still can't read these things. These 2 maybe I might have to look up, but maybe after I finish reading. Or maybe the autopsy says something. All right, crime scene report summary. It's in the river trail here. Oh yeah, we don't have date of birth, which we needed. I can kind of make it out, right? Oh, you know what? Probably need our trusty light here. Let me see. No, it doesn't work. It's not working. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna get the date of birth. Oh, age 38. Maybe that's how. She's 5'8", 155, red hair, green eyes. Distinguishing mark, tattoo of moon on back right shoulder. Occupation, archivist. Description of crime scene. Position of victim. Victim was posed on the branch of a tree, lying transversely over a large branch. The body was found in a small park just outside the Edwards Natural Science Center campus on the Arkansas River Trail, faced as if it was meant to be found by passerby. A small sign was hastily hung with string on the same branch as the victim's body and was positioned near the victim's head. Murder weapon. No murder weapon was found at the scene of the crime. No evidence of blunt force trauma or stab wounds. Bite marks on body appear to be from an animal. Exact cause of death undetermined. So an animal jumped up into the tree and bit her. I'm guessing, after she was already dead. All right, so there are several bite marks. All right. Again, the date of birth. Oh, maybe on this document I can try the light. Let's see. No. But maybe I can combine the 2. Okay. I can't really show you guys this, but I'm going to overlap the 2 and maybe it creates a date. No, it doesn't. The paper's too thick. But I can just try to closely inspect both of them. I see 19... All right, I'll try to show you guys from these documents here. But the blue light did not work. Or black light. Is this called black light? Yeah, whatever. The F whatever something tool. The USF 907. All right, this is same info we already know. Little Rock Police notified husband Steven Parker. So that's who Steven is. Same info. Liver mortis bluish purple. Okay, so marks and wounds. Perimortem bruising bilateral wrist. Okay, so she was tied up. Ankles and bruising to anterior neck extending to right posterior. I don't know what that means. There's nothing on the ankle here. Bite marks found on the chest wall, proximal right arm, lateral right thigh, and posterior right lower leg. So you can see all this in this diagram. Single puncture wound detected on left posterior neck, which we already knew that. Or I guess we didn't know which side. So if it's on the left, does that mean the person, is right-handed? Does that matter? Probable cause of death consistent with anaphylaxis. Okay, lots of terms I don't know. Awaiting toxicology results. Okay, I'm just gonna look up this one. Okay, so it's pretty much a life-threatening allergic reaction. So I'm just gonna take a note there. So that is what most likely killed her. Awaiting toxicology results. Okay, and I think that's it. Oh, what is this? Dermal irritation? It doesn't mention anything about that here. Is that as a result of the allergic reaction? So I guess I have to see what causes that kind of reaction, right? Maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, but let's try this website. But we still don't know her date of birth. Oh, right. So let me try to combine these two partially smudged date of births. Okay, so we have these two, and 1-9. I don't know. Okay, it says she's 38 years old. I don't know if that's also a clue. But I cannot read this. Look at the physical one. There's got to be something else, man. I mean, it looks like 1990. I don't know what this last number is. And this first one looks like 10. You can see the 1 and the 0. Okay, there's got to be some other way to get the date of birth. What other documents do we have? Okay, I mean, I might as well look up what these are. So I'm going to look up this word and this one as well, carisoprodol, whatever. Okay, so 30, this benzodiazepine is for sedation and hypnosis to relieve anxiety and muscle spasms and reduce seizures. So can you have allergic reactions to that? Let's check the last term. I hope I don't get flagged for anything. So I'm looking up all these drugs. Okay, so carisoprodol is a muscle relaxant. It can treat pain and stiffness from muscle spasms. So it seems like they're both similar. So the 30, this one, says it's used to help with sleep or anxiety, versus number 29 is used for things like physical therapy or just to relieve pain or discomfort. Do I need to look up the rest? I mean, nitroglycerin is not good, right? Hold on. So that nitroglycerin is used to provide relief of chest pain. Okay, why is there so many drugs in her blood? Like, what is going on? I think, wait. Sorry, this is the one that we can explain because she was taking these drugs. Yeah, sorry, that's the one. That's the one that she was taking for treatment of chest pain. What about the rest? What's 16 or 13? So gabapentin is also to treat seizures or pain that are caused by shingles. And what's this long one? Oh, okay. All right. So this top one is chloroform. And that is most likely what knocked her out. I think I will take a note here on this. Okay, so she was definitely like knocked out from chloroform. Then was injected after that. And then I don't know about the bite marks though. So the objective is just determine exactly what was used to kill her. So it was an allergic reaction though. But how do we know what she's allergic to? Because this didn't kill her. Okay. So that probably explains the stuff around the mouth. This dermal irritation is probably from the chloroform. So we have to figure out what was injected. How do we know what she's allergic to? All right, let's just keep digging into these chemicals. So we covered that. 47. This one we haven't looked at yet. Oh, okay. So this one is a pesticide, primarily to kill rats. At least that's how it's used today. I think that's not good, right? So she was injected with pesticide? All the other stuff seems like it's for medication that she's taking for some like relaxants or helping her with anxiety. The chloroform and then this pesticide for sure. We can explain the lead is because she wasn't being careful handling samples, I guess. And I think that's it. I think that's all we need, right? I can't figure out her date of birth, but let's just go back to the Night Hunter website. Oh, I forgot about all these. Oh, so these aren't audio files. I think they're PNGs. Oh, okay. Oh, we're just gonna read it then. All right, so I'm just gonna copy these 3 documents over so we can read them. Okay, so here they are, and let's read this one. Officer Merriweather, sit down, please. We have a few questions for you. What is this about? I'd like you to take a look at these photos. Why are you showing these to me? You recognize this? Looks like the work of the Night Hunter to me. Obviously, it can be no such thing. You'd have noticed if I left the building, assuredly. Don't be disrespectful to me. Tell me who might have done something like this. And why do you think I would know that? And why would I tell you if I did? We see the letters that you get from your fans. We screen them, you know. So many wannabes out there just trying to impress the great Night Hunter. And how is that my responsibility? You started all of this. So tell me, how are they replicating your kills? We never released this information to the public. As far as I know, you never did either. Of course not. No magician ever reveals their methods. Don't be clever. You're no magician, just a murderer. The same chemical you used to kill Miss Bennett and all the others was found in the victim's blood. So who did you tell? Maybe I told, maybe I didn't. I'm already in jail for life. There's nothing more you can do to me. If you think this is as bad as we can make things for you, you're wrong. If I had my way, you'd be in the chair. But how would you feel after a year of solitary? I will cooperate. Then tell us where you got your chemicals. Tell us where the copycat killer might be getting theirs. I can't tell you that. Besides, they wouldn't be in business anymore anyway. Did you not hear me? I could put you in solitary for the rest of your life if you don't answer me. I'm sorry. I really can't answer that question. Now I'd like to be returned to my cell, please. I have nothing left to say to you. We'll be watching you, inmate. All right, so some drug involved. Obviously, we knew that. Let's read the others. So this is a eyewitness testimony. The following are highlights from interviews with witnesses to the scene of the crime that were picked up by the local police as they began to follow leads. So far, none of these witnesses have been identified as suspects. Leon Bradley, 41, security guard that discovered the body. I've never seen anything like this before. I was just about to start my shift and was walking across the campus to grab a coffee when I saw the body. Poor Miss Parker. I didn't know her well, but she was well liked. I always enjoyed listening to her speak. I didn't touch the body. I know enough to know that's not what you do. Instead, I called for help and someone nearby called 911. I could have left to make the call myself, but I didn't want anyone to think I was running from the scene of the crime. Damn, can that make sense? Don't know why you didn't have a phone. I guess this is this is current time. You didn't have a phone? Cell phone? Vera White, 56, gardener. I heard a shout, like someone was hurt, and ran out to find the source of the racket. I saw that security guard shouting for help and immediately called 911. I didn't dare get close to the scene. I didn't want to see more than I already had. I don't need any images like that in my mind. Hold on, how did he find the body? Is it on the tree? Okay, Peter Wilkson, 43, supervisor. I've worked with Leon a long time. Oh, so the security guard supervisor? And I know he didn't have anything to do with this. Just the wrong guy in the wrong place. I'm glad I wasn't the one to find the body. Caroline had a long career ahead of her. I spent a fair amount of time at the museum listening to her speak. She was a true talent. We were all out for drinks after her lecture the night she was killed. It was her birthday. There we go. It was her birthday that day, and I was thrilled to be able to give her the news that we were promoting her into a leadership role. Okay, so it's Caroline's supervisor. She had wanted to head the department for so long. What a terrible thing this all is. It's such a shame that someone as kind-hearted and talented as Caroline could meet such a gruesome and horrifying end like that. All right, so now I think we have enough to piece her date of birth, but let's read the last document. This is with Stephen Parker, her husband. The following excerpt has been pulled from the interview with Stephen Parker, the victim's husband. Mr. Parker is labeled as a possible suspect. The interview transcript is as follows. I didn't even know she didn't make it back safely until the next morning. Really? Honestly, I didn't check to make sure she did until I got up to shower. Look, I'm going to share this, but I don't want you getting the wrong idea. We got in a little bit of a fight that night, but nothing serious. It's the kind of thing married couples do, you know? I went to watch her speak at her symposium on the preparation of specimens, a gory subject honestly, but it was a special night. Not only was she giving this talk on her birthday, but it is a subject she has been wanting to speak on for years. I always hated the taxidermy side of her work, but this talk was interesting and educational. I loved seeing her shine up there on such a special night. We went to the museum bar for a drink to calm her post-lecture anxiety, but we both had a few too many. Okay, that explains the alcohol. Before I knew it, we were arguing about something petty. I can't even remember what it was. Anyway, I tried to get her to come home, but she asked me to leave her there with her colleagues. We lived so close that we always walked to and from the museum, so I walked home and slept on the basement couch. Why would you sleep there? Oh, because they got into a fight, right. She was going to follow me home when she was done. I keep playing that night through my mind over and over again. I should have never left her there. I could have just waited for her out front and walked her home, or something. I will never forgive myself. All right, well, let's go to that website. Oh, first we did do the actual calculation. So she's 38 years old, and it was her birthday. So does this mean that this is the date? How do we know this is the same day that this letter is written and that she's giving her speech? I need to know for sure what day it happened. Oh, here we go. Okay. Estimated date of death. Oh, but is that like early in the morning on the 6th? And her speech was on the 5th, the night before? I guess we can try both, right? Okay, so 2021 minus 38. That leaves, let's see if I can do this in my head. So 17 minus that makes it 83, right? 1983. Did I do that right? All right, so that would make it 10:05, 1983 or 10:06, 1983. I'm going to try 10:05. Let's make a note here. All right, let's go to the site. What is it? The Meds Company. All right, so we need the login. So username Caroline P and then date of birth. So we have Caroline P. Date of birth 10/05, 1983. Oh, okay, so it's 06, 10/06, 1983. Bingo. Current prescriptions. Let's just take a copy of this really quick. All right, so we have her prescriptions. The nitroglycerin is accounted for. Gabapentin is accounted for. Does blah 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 accounted for. All right, like I thought, all of these things for muscles or anxiety, she was on prescription, except the pesticide and chloroform. So I think we have our answer here. So let's go back to the Night Hunter site. So solve these objectives to move on to chapter 2. We are on the first objective, determine exactly what was used to kill Caroline Parker. So do we just hit the solution? We don't enter it somewhere? So, I mean, she was taken out with chloroform and then injected with the pesticide, right? That's our solution. Let's see. Okay, determine exactly what was used to kill Caroline Parker. So we have to choose one of these. So it was definitely these two right here. The methanol and the strychnine. Okay, yeah, it's this one. Yes, correct. It's also known as chloroform and is also commonly used as rat poison. All right, well, that took longer than I thought it was going to take. I was hoping to do all of chapter 1, but I guess that will do it for this video. Definitely keep a lookout for the rest. I'm trying to do this in short bursts just so it's easier for me to put out videos. Also, I can get them out faster. Since there's going to be multiple videos, there'll be a playlist, so it'll be easier for you guys to follow along. If the next video's out, it'll be right here somewhere. I hope you guys will enjoy this series. It seems very interesting already, so I hope to see you in the next one. Later.